Hey, welcome to Broish. Clutch, what kind of beer was that? Clutch is holding up a beer. If you're listening to the audio version here,
this is a imperial stout brewed with molasses.
What's it called for the people listening on audio only?
Business. We're getting ready to do our business.
Gonna do some business.
Stillwater brew out of Brantford, Connecticut.
All right. Welcome to another edition of Broish, two brothers talking Notre Dame football. I'm your host, Mannix, with my brother, Clutch. And Notre Dame coming off a big win against Pittsburgh and Pat Narduzzi's.
I want to point out, I think I was better on the prediction there than you were, by the way, too.
Yeah, I forgot what my prediction was. I think I gave them more points than they needed.
It was like 12-13 or something like that. I was like, what? It's like tight. He made it really tight.
Yeah, it wasn't 58-7. That's what the score was. 58-7. Big time score. Led mostly by the defense and some offense or whatever. But, you know, again, the defense played really well again. And offense
played great on short field.
They listen. Sam Hartman, I think, has not lived up to the hype. He played well against lesser opponents. And then when we played Ohio State, he didn't play terrible, but there were a couple mistakes, a few mistakes, and then it kind of trickled downhill after that. And which leads us into our first clip that I want to play that Clutch you sent me, because I didn't have a chance. I was watching the game at work. Clutch was actually at a beer fest here in Detroit, and where I'm from, and I was working. He watched the game yesterday. I didn't rewatch the game, but Sam Hartman's first pass was an interception. And he was like, whoa, did everyone see that pass interference? And I was like, I had to go back and look. And then you sent that video. So let's take a look at this video. And it kind of shows just exactly what happened, because you take a couple looks at it. Sam Hartman, 2nd and 7, passes downfield, but about the 10, and it gets intercepted. But what we don't see is the fact that Rico Flores' arm gets pulled by the defender just above his right elbow. And the ref was right there, because you could see him
right here. Shot. You'll watch it. Yeah, you'll read it right here.
Right there. Like, what was he doing? Who was he watching? I don't know. I have no idea.
And you could argue, okay, well, he it wasn't enough to call pass interference, but it pulled him enough, and was there acting involved? I don't know. It pulled him back enough that he was no longer in a position to catch the ball. The guy used it to pull himself in play. And, okay, don't call pass interference. My big bone was NBC cut right to commercial. Didn't even talk about it. Went, that's interception. Let's go on to the other side. And that was the end.
That happened to be a complaint by one of Notre Dame's, one of the journalists that covers Notre Dame. And he had said the same thing in a tweet, had said that come on, NBC. I mean, you guys have all kinds of cameras. You have replays, and why weren't you showing this replay before the break? But you know what? It doesn't matter, because they can't, it's not reviewable. Pass interference is not reviewable. We know that. And, but it would have been nice to see, like, at least a couple of the commentators who should be homers, because it's Notre Dame's network, NBC. But
at home.
At home. I just don't think NBC gives a shit. The fact that they have a kid who's barely out of college and he's calling Notre Dame games, tell me where that happens. I mean, Jack Collinsworth I don't think he's the worst, but I don't think I don't know. He's just, he doesn't do it for me. And I think he probably gets a lot of love because his dad is a color commentator for the Sunday night games. And I don't know. And the color, actually, the other color commentator for us, for Notre Dame, is the old Dallas Cowboys coach, which I think is a complete throwaway, because he's like an analyst or whatever in the studio on the weekends for NFL games. But he's the color, Jason Garrett, who is the old Cowboys coach.
He sucks.
He's so bad. I mean, nobody likes this guy. And it's just, the things he says just doesn't make sense. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean,
NBC has turned it into their like minor leagues. This is where you go to get your chops in before you make it to a pro level broadcasting gig.
I guess. I just think it's just a throwaway job. I mean, Mike Tirico had to be a fill-in. He didn't even want to do it. So, but he was one of the best in the business too, as far as the play-by-play guy goes. But for color, I don't know who you get. Ryan Harris, he does the radio side of things. I think he's great, but he's such a homer. But I don't care. I like having the homer feel to it. I mean,
that's what it's about. No one's tuning in to NBC to watch Notre Dame and not expect that the game is going to be announced a little bit lopsided. You go to any school and it's like that. In fact, some broadcasts you have two different stations you could tune to, and maybe that's just in pros. I don't know if it does in college, but you can listen to like the Cubs broadcast, or you can listen to the Pirates Cubcast, right? Broadcast.
Absolutely.
You can't, whatever you want. So if you can do it at the pro level, why can't NBC just suck it up? They're not doing Notre Dame games for all the other teams. They're doing it for Notre Dame. I mean, right. That's what it's about.
Well, so. and in this day and age, which I started doing not too long ago, is just trying to match up. And it's hard because, you kind of want to walk away from the TV, you have to pause it, but it's hard to sync up the audio, because I'll have my Alexa sitting by the TV and I'll just have them play the radio broadcast. And I do that for the Lions games, for Detroit Lions games, to hear my colleague Dan Miller, and which he's great. He's fantastic, and he beats the competition, even though obviously it's a homer call, but he's fantastic. And to link that up, or to sync that up with the actual game, is awesome. It's for a fan, it's a great experience. They should actually feature that more. I don't understand why they would pay two assholes or whatever to come into to the game or whatever. Just have a homer feed, like you said. Have one team, and then you can switch it over. It's in this day and age, it's definitely possible. And have have the people.
Is there not a Catholic channel broadcast for away games?
Yeah.
Then there it is. I mean, the same thing is happening on the other side. I don't understand why they can't do that. I mean, it's stupid.
They probably save a lot of money. I'm serious, because they don't pay those guys as much to call those games.
Well, and it's NBC altogether, because that play, as you just showed, my beef was that as soon as they were showing that replay from the end zone where you could see actually what happened, that was the lead into the commercial break. With them like, we'll be right back after this with a commercial. And then they come back and start talking about the local, like, pumpkin Halloween crap. And I'm like, well, you're not even going to mention that pass, because if you look at that and you watch Hartman come off the field, he's like looking up at the screen. He's shaking his head like, and I wondered what he was shaking his head about, whether it was just he was pissed at himself or what. He was probably pissed. Like, I can't believe that didn't get called.
I thought he was pissed. He decided to shave his mustache. He didn't play a game with that mustache. I saw him practicing with it, but he didn't do it.
Anyways, probably got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I did. I was going to make a joke, but I couldn't think of one quick enough. So
blah blah blah. Not a big deal. 58-7. One of the stars of the game was the safety Xavier Watts, who had 2 interceptions against Pittsburgh, and he had 2 interceptions against USC 2 weeks prior to that. So back-to-back games, 2 interceptions. I mean, he's
fumble recovery too, or no?
Yeah, fumble recovery.
USC, I don't remember.
He's having.
I thought he did 3 things. Maybe it was two.
That was for the USC game. He had a fumble recovery. Yeah. So he's had an incredible year, and I was looking up to see like what year he was. I think he's a senior. he used to be a receiver. I think in the past against USC, when I was talking about him for the USC podcast, or at least maybe the week off podcast, we were talking about that he used to play another position, and it was a receiver. He used to be a wide receiver, not a running back. So I don't know. I mean, I thought those passes, I think anybody could have picked off. I mean, he was just, but you got to be in the right spot at the right time, correct? I mean, and that's where he was. It wasn't like he was, if you remember, Kyle Hamilton, like from a few years ago when he like crossed the entire field to make an interception. Xavier Watts just happens to be in the right spot. So if there's an overthrown ball, he's right there. He's right in front of it. So, but he's got great instinct, and he's going to be a great NFL player. Maybe similar to who's the guy from Notre Dame that from Minnesota.
Oh, gosh dang it. I can't remember. He's been in the league for like 20 years.
Yeah.
He's from Indianapolis. He was like a triathlete, or not
he was.
Not triathlete. No, it's pentathlon or whatever. He was like track and field, but he did like the, what's the one with, is it pentathlon? No, it's not pentathlon. What the hell is it?
Triathlon? What'd you say?
No, it's a track and field event that they do mostly in college and
decathlon. Decathlon?
Decathlon 10, yeah, it was decathlon. I think he was a decathlete, and that's why he's so good. But
another thing too is that he was, when he came out of Notre Dame, he wasn't looking at like he was going to be like a big deal, and he just blew up. He was incredible.
Harrison Smith.
Thank you. I was trying to look it up. I saw him he was doing an interview post game yesterday when they played Green Bay, and I was like, oh, it's Harrison Smith. And then I forget.
He's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done another 5 years. He's been playing since like 2005 or something like that.
He's
then he's still like rocking it. You know?
Oh yeah.
I just saw him the other day do something that was amazing. Yeah. Watts is a senior junior, so it must be a redshirt junior or something.
So Notre Dame is up 2 spots for 14-12. This is very significant because they only have we have 3 games left. We have Clemson. We have a bye week. What are there? 7-2, right? Yep. So they only have. They have 2 more. They have 3 more games. 3 more games. Yeah. So Wake Forest, and then they play Stanford for the final game. So the significance of the fact that they're jumped 2 spots puts them in a position for a New Year's Six bowl, which is great. That's going to be awesome to have, for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day to be sitting there watching a Notre Dame game. And cross your fingers. Hopefully they can win. I think they've been playing better during the bowl games. I know they lost that Oklahoma State game that was difficult. That was Marcus Freeman's first game a couple of years ago, but I don't know. I'm still happy. I'm still happy with the season. I think, they let a couple slip away, Louisville and Ohio State. But, man, Marcus Freeman has done a hell of a job. And not only that, Al Golden has done a tremendous job with the defense. And, I think they just got to fix some things with the offense going forward. And I think Marcus Freeman actually said that this week, this before the Pittsburgh game, they were talking about what the quarterback situation for 2024 would be, and he said that they were going to maybe kind of look into the transfer portal, and that's fine. I think they should. They should always look into the transfer portal.
So?
Yeah, I always think they should look into transfer portal just to see. I think the year before they did not look into the portal, and I think it cost them. It hurt them dearly. So I think they definitely need to take a look to see what's there. They obviously have quarterbacks now with Angeli and McGinchey. Is it McGinchey? I want to say McGinchey, or is it Min?
No, it's Minchie. It's Peter Angeli and Minchie. Yeah,
Minchie, and then CJ Carr's coming in next year, and then
Carr, yep,
and then Deuce, that dude. Oh my God, that's Deuce Knight when he comes in. Deuce Knight, he's
who's this guy? Who's Deuce Knight?
Deuce Knight. Oh my God, you got to look at some of his highlights after the podcast. Take a look at some of his highlights. So he committed. He committed like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But he's like one of the best quarterbacks coming out for 2025. So and he looks fantastic. I mean, he looks ready for college right now. So it's going to be hard for CJ Carr as a 5-star quarterback coming in. So who knows? Notre Dame is definitely setting themselves up, and you can always, I think, look into the transfer portal.
Deuce Knight's a 2020. Deuce Knight's a 2025 commit.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah. I think you meant next year.
CJ Carr's next year, and then Deuce Knight the following year, 2025. Yep.
All right, my bad. Yeah.
So I think he's from is he from Louisiana somewhere? I think he's from down south, but he loves Notre Dame. Loves Notre Dame. Yeah, he's super excited about coming to Notre Dame. So I love players that are like CJ Carr, another guy that's super excited to come to Notre Dame and play football. I like these guys because, I think you can commit to a team. You can commit to a team, and then 2 years later say I hate this place or I'm not getting playing time, just leave. But there seems to be a factor for Notre Dame that kids like coming here because when they set foot on campus, when they see the culture like Sam Hartman did. Sam Hartman said he was going to tell his kids about this one day because he loves the culture so much. And I think that's what it's about. And I think that if Marcus Freeman can build that and keep building on it, that he's going to keep getting great recruits. And he's going to keep those recruits from entering the transfer portal because they want to play for the team. They don't care that they're going to start right away. They just want to be able to play for a winning program. And I think Notre Dame's, and they've always been a winning program, but I think they're really, really trying to solidify this transition from Brian Kelly to Marcus Freeman, and they're doing a hell of a job right
now. Deuce Knight is from Mississippi. He's also
south,
a lefty. So another Mike Zaire type player, right?
Yep.
So I'm watching some game highlights of the last game. I think it was his last game or some game from this year, and it's so far his team sucks. He's gotten sacked like twice, and he looks like he can sling it though, and he can run. He's tall. He's like 6'6" or something like that, or
he's a tall dude. He's a lengthy,
like a Dante Culpepper.
Right. All right. So speaking of quarterbacks, Clutch, you noticed something. I didn't catch this because I wasn't really paying attention to the end of the game. But you were saying that so not only did Notre Dame substitute at quarterback, and PB&J stepped in and had an awesome little bootleg touchdown.
Bootleg.
It was a beautiful pass. However, you caught something on screen from Pittsburgh's because they whatever, they replaced him because he was having the shittiest of all shit games, and they brought in who they bring in? What was I forget his name?
Yarnell.
Yes, and so that dude comes in, and I did not see this, but you just sent me the screenshot of this, and I'm just going to pull it up here. Screen sharing time. And
so this is the second play. He ran one play.
There it is.
Second play.
Pull out the readers.
Second play.
If you have to get the readers out, it says right there. Tell them, Chris. Clutch
says 30-year-old, something like 30-year-old the third oldest player in FBS. Yep. And I'm like, holy shit, that's old. Well, tonight I looked it up. He's not 30. He's 21. I don't know where they got their stat at or what they were talking about.
Is he 6'6"?
So
is he 215? Is he 6'6"? Is he from Austin, Texas? Is this even real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's all him. But for some reason, they said he was 30 years old, and they didn't. And that's the thing is that little blip came up, and again, our great color commentators didn't mention it at all. Right. And I'm glad they didn't because it was wrong. Instead, they were talking about Jerkovic, the ex-Notre Dame quarterback who went from Notre Dame to Boston College, now at Pitt, is now practicing with the tight ends, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna suck. That's just.
Well, he wants to get into the NFL, and Jerkovic was he a 4 or 5 star? I think he was close to being a 5 star. Was he 5?
Kelly never recruited a 5 star, so it wouldn't have been a 5 star.
All right, well.
Unless they know to that. They know 5 star.
I know one thing. Notre Dame is
if he was a 5 star, then Reese was a 4 star. We know that didn't happen.
We're not hurting at running back, and we won't for a long time. We have an incredible backfield led by junior Audric Estimate, who had 114 yards, 3 touchdowns. I believe, let's see, just to check this, but I believe he is 6th overall in rushing yards. Let's see here. I'm pulling it up right now. He was number 1. Now he is 8th. I'm sorry, he is 8th, and he has just over 900 yards, 901 yards. So he's going to hit 1,000 with 3 games left. He's got 12 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, and he's played 9 games. Everybody else has played 8 above him. So, yeah, he's had a couple of games where he hasn't produced like he should have. But yeah, again, like.
What about touchdowns? He had 3 touchdowns Saturday.
He's got 12. So that's, let's see. Let's just sift that. And he is tied for 8th. No, that's not right. It's not tied for 8th. Sorry. Hold on. No, number 1 is 13. There's 3 tied for 13, then 12. So no, he's tied for what? Would that be 1 and then
4th?
2, 3. Tied for 4th?
Mm-hmm.
4th overall. So with 12 touchdowns. So that's pretty decent. And then Hardman used to be up there too, but I don't think he's, as far as stats go, he's even considered now that he's thrown 5 or 6 interceptions.
Well, it's not that, but he's not had a lot of yards because they've had all these short freaking yardage drives. Like, hey, get the ball in the 40 and we're going to score. Or, it's like they're not the offense looks very vanilla, very stagnant. And what's his face is out too. We just found out that the tight end's out for the rest of the year.
Mitchell Evans. So our friend Wayne, who's out on the West Coast, had said, "Oh no, he's gone. He had a knee injury, and who's going to take over his spot?" And I'm like, "Well, they already have Holden Stays, and he's a great receiving tight end, but they're tight end you. They have plenty of Cooper Flanagan was the guy that caught the touchdown pass from PB&J. He's a tight end. So, he looked good. Holden Stays. Who else they have here? Shoot, man, you could make Jaden Thomas a tight end if you wanted to. I mean, they got receivers. You could definitely transition Jaden Thomas into a tight end. He's big enough for that. Which brings me back to tight ends. I was just thinking about this. They make anybody an analyst nowadays. I just saw Gronk as a studio commentator. I was like, what?
Yeah, he's been doing that with NFL. Yeah, he's been doing that with Fox NFL. He's not very good, but
now you can tell.
I feel like he's always talking. To coach he's always talking. Yeah, he's trying to talk. It's like he's talking to his frat boys when he's talking to you. So, I'm waiting for Strahan to just flat out punch him one day and say, "Get out of here."
What I want to do though, real quick here, because we didn't talk about this. Hold on, let me just see if I can pull it up. I'm not going to be able to download. It's going to have to be a screen share. But I thought. And I texted you and you said, shh, because I thought it was so incredible. It was Chris Tyree's punt return, 82 yards. And I mean, here, hold on here. I'm going to share the screen here in a second. This is from NBC. We'll give them full credit for this. This is their video. We're going to share screen and let's get a play-by-play on this. What do you think, Clutch? You want to do a play-by-play on this? What did you think? We'll just watch this ad for a second. This guy's pulling some shit out of his ass.
We need to get you some U-Block Origin.
I know. I mean, there's no skip here. I mean, NBC. Okay, here we go. So if you watch the game, this is right after Pitt had intercepted the ball and they went 3 and out, and here's a punt to Chris Tyree, and he catches it about around 18-yard line, gets hit, ducks under a guy, bounces off another guy, and just keeps running through players until he's by himself.
Back that up. Back that up again to the beginning.
Yeah. Let's go back.
Back it up all the way to the beginning. I want to see what I got. Something else I want to comment. I can barely see it, but I think I can see it enough. Okay.
So it's about the 18.
Oh. And then he runs in between the hashes. Watch this. He never leaves the hashes again.
No.
Right up the middle.
Right. He just follows the hash.
Oh, yep. Right there.
Remember what I said when people when didn't I maybe I was talking about Chris Tyree. Remember when I was saying that, like, why don't people run in straight lines anymore? And he did. He absolutely ran in a straight line this time, but far more than that, the fact that, like, watch this play again one more time.
I was talking to Bruce earlier today, and he said that Tyree has always been one that if you breathed on him too heavy, he fell over and was down.
No way.
So he was impressed that he actually...
Look at the fact. So spin move, gets hit by a pretty big dude who did not wrap up the tackle. So he spins, then ducks under this guy's arm. Misses a tackle there. A guy misses him. He runs into his own players and then just finds a way to get through it all. Incredible punt return. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Notre Dame, and you were telling me, hey, I got about 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes left here in this podcast, but you were telling me that we're going to have a hard time against Clemson with our offense, and I'm like, no way, they just lost to NC State. Clemson is terrible this year, and will they play better at home? Probably. Does Notre Dame have to be concerned? Probably. But I think if their defense keeps playing like they have been, this is the first time that they've actually played a noon game in how long. It's actually going to be I think a fun game for them to actually play during the daytime. It's hard to play during the nighttime. I don't understand. People don't understand the fact that, like, Notre Dame played like 4 night games in a row. Wasn't that 4 night games in a row? Ohio State.
Yeah, all 7:30s. Yep.
Yeah, all 7:30 starts. So that's crazy. Not only all ranked teams, but all night games. Insane. Right. Remember when college football used to be a day thing? You just watch it during the day.
Noon. Yep.
Right. And then
Notre Dame was always in the day because they had no lights for the longest time we were growing up.
Right.
Then they started bringing in the portable lights and they started playing night games. We were like, oh shit.
Right. And it's cool. You know what? For a fan, it's cool. It is. It's cool to watch a night game because you just go to bed after that, right? You watch a nice game. Yep. Maybe watch a Pac-10 game after that or whatever.
Not as an adult, man. You're like, it's too long to
go to bed,
partake in festivities. Yeah.
And then, but a 3:30 game, it's like, get 3 or 4 beers in, 5 beers maybe, and like and it's 7:30, and it's like, it's a little too early to go to bed. Whatever. All right, so Notre Dame has Clemson. Then they go on their second bye week, and which I think is insane. I understand why they put them together so closely. It's so stupid. But whatever. Got a bye week, then they play Wake Forest, end the season with Wake Forest and Stanford. And both those teams, actually, Stanford, Wake Forest just beat somebody decent. Who did they beat?
North Carolina?
No. It wasn't Florida State.
Does not matter. We could.
Oh, it was Pittsburgh.
I was gonna say
I thought maybe Pittsburgh was actually good, but they're not. So, what do you think about this team? We're 7-2. Do you think they can make it to 10 wins?
Yeah, they'll make it to 10 wins. It'll be a tight game this weekend. I'm gonna give a prediction right now. I'm gonna say what was it? 31 24.
I'm going to say 35-14.
Okay.
35-14. Notre Dame offense I don't think they play well again. And, but again, I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball. and they have enough running backs to keep it interesting. So, oh, by the way, did you see USC almost lost again? 3 weeks in a row. They only won by 1 point against or 2 points. 2 points. No, 1 point. 1 point. And 1 point against Cal. Yeah.
1 or 2.
I think it was, what was the score?
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Before we go, we gotta talk about a little something else here. That's
50 to 49. 50 to 49. That's ridiculous. And they're still ranked.
No defense.
The hell.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right.
Last thing.
Yes.
Wednesday, 7 p.m. home game. Notre Dame's men's basketball season opens up their season with an exhibition game against Hanover College, the very first private university or private college of Indiana. It's right on the Indiana-Ohio border, right above Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh.
So
that's Wednesday.
Be on Notre Dame.
That's Wednesday, huh?
Wednesday, 7 p.m. Notre Dame Radio Network. So
nice. All right. Yeah, I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see. You know what? A lot of fans of this show. A lot of fans of this show, not many. Not many.
Whatever.
They want to see us do the basketball season as well. And you know what? We might have to. I think we're going to have to.
I don't know how we're going to do that. That's like podcasts every other day.
No. We're just going to do it once a week, just like football, but we'll just recap the games from that week. And if it happens to be recording on a day that there's a game, we'll preview that game. And we'll always talk about whatever games that had happened from the time we recorded the last one. How about that?
Yeah, that might work. I'm going to try to get down maybe for a game.
This is just a week. You're going to get down for a game?
Maybe. I'm going to try to see if Chloe and her boyfriend may pick him up on the way, and we go down. And I was eyeballing the Western Michigan game. It's on a Tuesday, though, in December. So I'm not sure. That might be a little tight, but yeah, might go down there and check out a game. Otherwise, once we get in conference play, it's going to be real tough to probably get tickets. So, yeah, especially if they're doing good. But maybe a Western Michigan game might be easy to go see. They play Miami before that. Is that at home? No, it's away. Never mind. So
I was hoping they would play like UAD in Detroit. That would be fun to watch.
Yeah,
but
no, they play Hanover, Niagara, Western Carolina. Then they go to the 2023 Legends Classic, which is Auburn, Oklahoma State, St. Bonaventure, and Maryland Eastern Shore. And then they get an ACC play after that. With Western's thrown in the middle of that ACC play. South Carolina, Miami, Western Michigan. I don't get that. It's weird. And Marquette's not ACC either. Citadel isn't. Oh, there's a bunch of them in here that are. It says. Oh, I see. Wait. It's just one game. ACC SEC Challenge, and then they continue on with the regular season. Miami, Western, Marquette, Georgetown, Citadel, Marist, Virginia, and then they get into actual ACC play there. There we go.
Yep.
You're welcome.
All right, that concludes another edition of Broish. Two brothers talking Notre Dame football and soon Notre Dame basketball. It's right around the corner. We won't do the exhibition games. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about them as you know, Notre Dame's finishing out their football season. And then after that, from like March on out, I don't know what we're going to do. Talk recruiting? Because this is a 365-day a year show.
After March? I don't know.
May take summer break.
Yeah.
We might have to take a summer break.
Maybe we do it bi-weekly or something.
Yeah. Maybe we'll space them out a little bit. Keep people
Lovely.
interested. You know, we got to get. I know we have like one sub from like the Louisville, Cincinnati area. I appreciate you. You know who you are, and I think that's the only person that watches. I don't even know if Bruce watches. I know he knows we do this because he's been on the show. Wayne, does he watch? I have no idea.
Bruce does not. He probably doesn't know how to find it.
It's online. Just put in Broish and Google search that. Whatever. Yeah. Anyways, Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, and go Irish.
Go Irish.